everyone. Good evening. My name is Heidi Deininger, and I'm the Executive Director for the YWCA Rock County. We're so happy that you could join us for this special event, recognizing women in our community and supporting the YWCA's domestic violence programs. Tonight wouldn't be possible without all of you and, of course, our wonderful sponsors. Before we begin, I'd like to take a moment to recognize our elected officials who are joining us this evening. If you are an elected official, please stand so we can acknowledge and thank you for your service to our community. I'd also like to take a moment to welcome and thank my family for being present here tonight. So if you could wave that I won't make you stand. Table 10. Thank you. I was lucky to have my husband Jeff, who works at Craig, my son Jesse, who works with Exact Sciences, my daughter, who is working at a residential home in Illinois, Lydia Home here, and my mother-in-law Sue, my husband's aunt Debbie, who's also my aunt, Kristen and Madeline. Thank you for being here tonight. In thanking our sponsors, please look to the back cover of the program that's on your table for a complete listing. I'll give everybody a moment to sort of kind of take in. We've also got it up here on the screens. These wonderful sponsors who help us out. And I would love if at this moment you could give them a generous round of applause for helping us out tonight. I want to thank all of you for your attendance tonight, because with your presence here, you are helping the YWCA Rock County celebrate inspirational women in our community, and you are also helping women, children, and families in our domestic violence programs. Through our programs, we inspire and empower individuals of all ages to realize their full potential. Fleeing an abuser often leaves adults and children immediately homeless, without access to food, and in need of education and support to recover and gain independence and self-sufficiency. Our programs offer a path to domestic violence recovery. At the YWCA, we offer client and community-based services. So if you're staying in our shelter, our transitional housing, or if you are in our care house receiving support services, you can partake in many of the services and programs we have. But if you're in the community and you're not in one of those spaces, you can also call us, and you can make an appointment to come in and take, partake in our services. And we offer case management. We call it the Path to Empowerment Milestones programs. It's for families, adults, and children. It provides services such as legal advocacy, safety planning, which includes restraining orders, youth activities, and education and referrals to community services. We also have youth group support, and we call that our Healing Hearts Kids Club, and that helps youth find the courage to start healing after trauma. We also have our Reclaim and Rise adult group support. It's a Trauma in the 12 Steps program, providing adults with the tools to find their voice. And lastly, we have the Fire Within individual counseling program, helps youth and adults on their path to healing and reminds them that despite their past trauma, they have the inner strength to heal and thrive. So again, these programs are for the people who are in our buildings, but if you know people in the communities who need help, they can definitely reach out to the YWCA. We also have a new program, series called the Partner Empowerment Program, PEP, and it includes topics like Grow with Purpose, and this is a self-discovery program. We have a financial empowerment program, which is all about financial literacy, and then we also partner with Workforce Development, and we really like to promote their Workforce Development W-2 program. Information about our services and programs can be found on our website. So in 2024, 10,250 nights of housing were provided to survivors and their children, and 472 hours of case management was provided to both the residents and community clients. Our Alternatives to Violence Emergency Shelter assisted 303 women and children. 683 calls were responded to by our 24/7 helpline. 202 community clients were served, and 6,904 safe nights of shelter were provided at our transition apartments. Let's just take a moment. Yeah, thank you. Thank you for that moment, and for letting those numbers sink in, and understand that the role of these important YWCA Rock County programs really do help the community. Throughout the night, as we celebrate our 2025 Women of Distinction recipients, you're going to also hear from women in our community that are bravely sharing their powerful stories with you. As you hear the strength in their story, in her story, how they have turned the trauma they've experienced in their lives into positive community impact, we ask that you please donate so that other women, children, and families can lift themselves out of danger and poverty. Lastly, a few weeks ago, we issued a press release, and it shared that our newly developed Early Learning Center will welcome over 40 new families. This is a 2s, 3s, and we currently also have P4J on site. So if you're looking or know people looking for 2s and 3s care, or for P4J, please have them come and call the YWCA. This will help enrich and empower their lives, enabling the YWCA to reimagine its mission of empowering women and the children of Rock County. Looking ahead, the YWCA envisions establishing a unified campus on the south side of Janesville that will offer both traditional as well as new initiatives designed to better serve our community. And remember, we are the YWCA of Rock County, so our community is Rock County. In 2025, the YWCA Rock County will begin taking essential steps towards realizing this visionary future. The YWCA Rock County shared at a very high level a vision last year in connection with our 100 Empowered Women campaign. When you look at this vision of the organization that was shared last year, it's high level. Some of the dates may change. There's a lot of work that needs to be done, but we are beginning that journey now. And so, if you have questions, you ever want to talk about it, you want to learn more about what that vision means on some land that was gifted adjacent to our property, please, don't hesitate to call me and learn more about it. On your tables, there is a donation envelope and a QR code for our Strength in Every Story, for the Strength in Her Story campaign that provides essential services and items like gas cards or food for our food pantry for survivors of domestic violence. To ensure we can provide for these women and children in our community again this year, we have set a goal to raise $10,500 for this campaign, with the hope that $8,000 or more comes directly from our event tonight. I know you'll be moved by some of the stories that you're going to hear tonight, and I hope when you hear them, they resonate with you and you think about investing in the YWCA and in our community. We're asking you to give, and we're asking you to give generously. And as an added incentive, our staff have worked with some vendors in our community, some businesses, and we have 2 beautiful diamond necklaces generously donated by Kessler's and the Diamond Center, and you will be automatically entered to win with your donation. Thank you in advance for your support. And so as you were thinking about completing those forms or visiting our QR code, I would like to bring Adrian Henning, our past YWCA board president, to the stage to continue the program.
Okay, sorry, I'm tall. Thank you, Heidi, and thank you everyone supporting YWCA clients with your attendance here tonight and your donations for gas cards and personal care items. Now, let's celebrate the amazing women that we're here to honor tonight. Each of the women honored here tonight, as well as those who came before, have had a significant impact on our local businesses, schools, churches, nonprofit organizations, downtown development, and arts and culture. Will all past YWCA Women of Distinction Award recipients please stand at this time so we can recognize and celebrate you. You may be asking, with so many talented women and worthy organizations in Rock County, how are the Women of Distinction honorees chosen? Each of the Women of Distinction Award honorees were nominated by friends, family, or colleagues for their accomplishments. Every year, the community is invited to nominate women and young women who they feel deserve to be recognized for their outstanding contributions. The volunteer selection committee is comprised of community leaders and past Women of Distinction recipients. We greatly appreciate their time and dedication. Please join me in recognizing and thanking this year's selection committee. Please rise when I say your name and stay standing. Jessie Campbell, Jessica Loker, Rick Mueller, Shauna L. Amin, Gina Stevens, and Karen Schmidt. Again, thank you for choosing our wonderful Women of Distinction recipients. I would now like to introduce our guest MC, Shar Hermanson. Shar is the president and CEO of Forward Janesville, leading efforts in business growth, economic development, and community connections. In her first year, she launched the Keep Kids Learning campaign, a business retention and expansion program, and grew membership by 20% to over 600 businesses. Yeah. With a background in media and digital marketing, Hermanson has held executive roles in local radio and the Gazette. She has also been deeply involved in the community, serving on the YWCA board, leading Girls Night Out of Rock County, and working as a Forward Janesville ambassador. Let's welcome Shar to the stage.
Please continue eating. Oh, I'm a little shorter than these beautiful ladies. So good evening, everyone. Thank you so much. It's an honor to hold space with you here tonight to recognize and celebrate the incredible women who have touched and transformed the lives of so many. I asked to speak tonight, not because I have it all figured out, because I believe in the mission of the YWCA with my whole heart. I believe in the power of stories to inspire change, especially the ones that have never been shared before. And so tonight, I'm going to share mine. My mom was just 16 when I was born, and by 18, she had 2 children. She was raised in a home marked with violence and tragedy. In her marriage, she stepped into a similar reality. For years, she endured abuse, emotional, physical, and mental, until one day, at just 21, she found the courage to leave. She walked away with nothing but her children and a bag of clothes. I remember standing in my grandmother's home when my mom said, "We're not going back." I was 5. And I worried about my toys that we had left behind. But my mom was focused on something bigger, breaking the cycle. She got her driver's license, she got a job, and we got an apartment in 4th Ward. A man who had long been her friend would become my dad. He stepped in to help us carry the load, and he chose to love and protect us. Not because he had to, but because he wanted to. He's the bravest man I know. But life was not easy. At one point, my dad lost his job farming. So to shield us from the influence of continued abuse through visitation to my biological father, my parents decided to give up everything once again and leave Wisconsin with a truck and a trailer and a dream. We moved to Florida and started over. We lived with relatives in a double-wide trailer in the woods with 4 adults, 6 kids, and a couple bedrooms. It wasn't glamorous. We had very little food, we hand-washed our clothes, and we were often mistaken as a family with no hope. But we were safe. Slowly, things did get better. We got a place of our own, which was a trailer, and I was out selling Girl Scout cookies one day when I met Pete and Gertie Fleming. They were neighbors, and they weren't just cookie buyers, they were life changers. They invited us to church, where we found community, purpose, and healing. Looking back, I did not know about the YWCA then, but I now recognize the same support systems that they offered, safe housing, community, empowerment, and connection, are the tools my family would use to rebuild. And that's why I'm here. And that's why I support this work. Because you never know who needs the YWCA until you realize it was your story all along. Change takes courage. It takes support. It takes showing up, even when it's very hard. My mom taught me that success, it's not a destination, but it is a journey. She still walks the path with me, and because of her, I walk it bravely. Thank you. Now that you have heard my story, I do ask you to take a moment to scan the QR code at your table and donate. But tonight, I changed the script, and whatever you thought you might donate tonight, I'm gonna ask you to double what you thought you could donate. Because doubling the amount that the YW would like to build tonight could make a tremendous difference for these families in this community. So I'll take you that moment to just ask you to consider that. You'll be hearing from other brave women tonight as the evening continues. Thank you for your support. It is my honor to present this year's award to our first honoree. Our first award this evening is for our Young Woman of Distinction, Naya Holmes. Naya is a determined, inspiring young woman, a lifelong Janesville resident. She attended Wilson Elementary, Franklin Middle School, Arise Virtual Academy, and Craig High School. In high school, she was active in the SIS, the Link Crew, and FCCLA, and helped break barriers as a charter member of Craig Girls Wrestling Team. This past January, she shared her powerful story of resilience, of overcoming racism, homelessness, and the loss of her father at the Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Assembly. Despite challenges, Naya has maintained a 3.2 GPA, good job, and will graduate early this June. She plans to attend Blackhawk Technical College to study culinary arts or a science-related field with the goal of visiting all 50 states. Please join me celebrating Naya.
Thank you for having me here. I'm Naya. Today I'm going to be telling you about the speech I shared in front of my school for MLK. The reason I'm sharing this speech is because it aligns with YWCA goals of empowering women, promoting freedom. This is my speech, and it's titled Retention. Many things have layers to them, whether it be a tree or an onion. Even though we do not have visible layers like trees and onions, we have things deep inside of us. Each of us has our own stories, some filled with glee and some filled with tragedy. Throughout my life, I have experienced many things despite my age. For me, each month was its new thing. It was another chapter in my story. It was another layer to my life, each one more tragic than another. The months could have been titled Loss of a Parental Figure, Homelessness, and Separation from Family. Despite those chapters I mentioned, I will be honing in on homelessness. Homelessness was undoubtedly the struggle that threw me into the dumps because I had no decision about where I could go. The decisions were up to my mom and the people I couldn't see. This is what I struggled with the most. I had no power. My mom had to decide if we're moving to another shelter or we're going back to my grandmother's house, which could mean I lose everything I built up here. I also feared I'll lose something that's a part of me, whether it be small, like a gift, or something that mean everything to me, like my mother. Another layer to my life was seeing that life was so fragile, watching my dad die right in front of me, and finally seeing the last time he took his breath made me realize my mom was also delicate, and she can also stop being there for me. I felt the pain of my mom stressing over our situation. The fear of losing someone else like my mom, the only parent I had left in this world, haunted me. I don't even have a house I can call home anymore, and the fear of losing her put me on edge. But eventually, we found our way. We found our footing. Even though we found our footing, that period created another layer to my life, and it affected me in ways I didn't want it to. It made me think 10 steps ahead. It made me think about things that no teenager should be thinking about, such as where would I sleep that night, and how would I get a ride to and from school. It made me worry about my lunch and if I was going to eat. It made me worry about my dinner for my siblings or if they're going to eat. Experiencing homelessness made me concerned about how people would judge me, so I stuck to myself more than ever. I avoided people like they're a black plague, often speaking to them when it's necessary, or I saw some gain from it. Eventually, we found our safe place, or home, to sleep in our beds warmly. When that chapter ended, another one started. Whether good or bad, time will tell. Throughout these challenges, I learned that protecting my dream is what keeps me moving forward. I showed up to school, I joined the sport, and I continue to be my true self. These are the things I do to protect my dream, because no matter how hard life gets, I refuse to let the difficulty take away my dream. Thank you for listening to my speech. But before I go, I want to thank some special people in my life. I want to thank my mother and my father for raising me to who I am today. I want to thank my brother and my sister, Mayana and Sean, for always supporting me. I want to give thanks to my younger brothers for teaching me patience. And finally, I want to thank all my teachers and staff at Craig who taught me so much and supported me through high school. Thank you.
And we'll call Deanna to the stage. There you are.
Hello. Congratulations, Naya. Very inspiring story. Hello, everyone. My name is Deanna Renteria, and I am a past Women of Distinction recipient. I now serve on the board for the YWCA of Brock County. I'd like to begin by thanking all of you in attendance here tonight, especially those of you that continue to support us year after year. We greatly appreciate your support. I want to take a quick moment to share my story. Few people know that my story with the YWCA began back in 2001. Some of my earliest memories involved going to the YWCA with my parents as a small child. At the time, I did not know why we were going there. What I did know was that for Christmas one year, the YW gave me a Polly Pocket playset called Polly's Cafe. The dollhouse came with a handful of Polly Pocket dolls with the rubber changeable clothes. I used to love to chew on the bubblegum pink top and the cobalt blue jacket with the orange border. Those of you born in the 90s and early 2000s will know what I'm talking about. Another year, we were given a giant white Christmas tree with more ornaments than we could even fit on the tree. The colorful ornaments really brightened up our dull dining room with the landlord's special white paint job and the dirt brown carpets. We had won that tree through a raffle, although my mother believes to this day that the people at the YWCA were so impressed with our family that there was no raffle and that we were handpicked to receive the giant tree. And we kept that tree until 2018 when we left that home. We still use those ornaments 20 years later. As I got older, I learned that the reason that we were going to the YWCA was so that my mother could receive free legal counseling. These legal services would eventually allow my mother to earn her permanent U.S. residency. Being a permanent U.S. resident provided my mom with the opportunity to seek employment and work towards the American dream of owning our own home. My mother did not have the opportunity to pursue an education beyond 9th grade, but the fruits of her labor helped put me through college. And through that pursuit for education, I was able to meet the wonderful people at the University of Wisconsin-Whitewater, Rock County, and the wonderful people at the YWCA. The YWCA is dedicated to empowering society's most vulnerable, offering them safety, stability, and the opportunity to build a better future. Now that you have heard my story, please take a moment to revisit the donation card on your table, if you haven't done so, to help us continue to provide a better tomorrow for the most vulnerable in our community. Thank you.
Our next woman of distinction is Barbara McCrory. Elected in 2012 as Rock County's first female judge, Barbara Ward McCrory has since become its longest-serving judge, presiding over criminal, civil, family, and probate cases. As presiding judge, she also manages administrative matters for the court and serves as vice chair for the Criminal Justice Coordinating Council. Her most rewarding role is leading Rock County's Drug Treatment Court, where she supports participants in their path to recovery. She also contributes to judicial education, chairs the Family Law Bench Book Committee, and serves on the Records Management Committee for Wisconsin courts. Beyond the bench, McCrory is an active person in the Cardinal United Methodist Church and has chaperoned 15 high school mission trips. Thank you, right? 15? Enjoys singing in the church choir and Janesville Choral Union. A UW-Madison graduate, she was raised on a dairy farm near Fort Atkinson. She is a proud mother of 3 and a grandmother to Daisy. Please join us in honoring Judge Barbara Ward McCrory.
Thank you very much. When I was elected back in 2012, the night of the election, I had been at the courthouse and it was a very emotional day, but I was kind of holding it together. And I'm walking out of the courthouse at about 10 o'clock at night, so it's dark, and there's the spotlight on the women of history in Rock County, the women who've come before us, Lavinia Goodell and other women. And I had to pause as I'm talking with Anna Marie Ames, who was the reporter at the Gazette at the time, and because it really just took my breath away. And at that time, I just said, I am humbled. Standing here looking at that mural reminds me that I am walking in the footsteps of women who worked very hard. I was grateful, overwhelmed, and incredibly happy at that time. Just as I am humbled to be here tonight. As you heard, I grew up in a dairy farm just west of Fort Atkinson. And when you grow up on a dairy farm, what you don't really realize is the cows do all the work. And for those of you who don't know much about cattle, the cows are the females, And my sister Lori is here, and when I started 10th grade government class, she said, you're going to sit down, and our teacher is going to say, all right, we're going to talk about government. Miss Ward, you grew up on a farm. What's the lead cow do? What does the lead cow do? She's the one that gets up because it's time to go to milking. And she walks out of the pasture, into the barn, and the rest of the cows follow. Doesn't do anything extraordinary other than that. And, you know, I don't think of myself as a trailblazer. I kind of think of myself as the lead cow, doing the work that's suited for me, and getting up and just, okay, this is what we're going to do today. But in reality, I'm really someone who is fortunate enough to reap the benefits of those who have come before me. And when I think about it, we really are all fortunate, but what does that really mean? And first, from my mind, for this evening, it's important to remember just how far women have come. One of the things that I have on my desk in my office is a Wisconsin Reports from it's 39 WIS, which means it was the first time it was ever published. And it's the case of Lavinia Goodell, who was the first woman lawyer in the state of Wisconsin, who was from Janesville. And she had applied to appear in front of the Supreme Court, and they turned her down. And I keep this book on my desk to remind me of a few things. First of all, how far people have come, because as I read the Chief Justice's decision, it says the law of nature destines and qualifies the female sex for the bearing and nurture of the children of our race, and for the custody of the homes of the world, and their maintenance in love and honor. And all lifelong callings of women, inconsistent with these radical and sacred duties of their sex, as is the profession of the law, are departures from the order of nature, and when voluntary, treason against it. I guess I could be charged with treason, because that is not what I did, and obviously not what Ms. Goodell did as well. She's a woman who said, okay, I'm not going to take this. She got the law changed, and she was able to be sworn as the first woman lawyer in the state of Wisconsin. And so I keep this to remind myself of that. The other thing when I think about fortunate and how fortunate we are is, don't give up. You might have to do things outside of your comfort zone. And you need to pause and think for a minute. The women that are in these rooms, both the past honorees and the current honorees, where would we be if they had given up on their dreams and the things that they thought were important? I had to run for office 2 times before I was elected. And I had a 6-way primary with a bunch of other white men. And I'm sorry guys, don't take it personally, but that's what I was up against. And it was very difficult to do that because it was really something that was outside of my comfort zone. As I said, I just do the work, but putting myself out there in front of people, talking to them about stuff, was sort of a difficult thing. And my daughter Kate's here, and I'm going to share this story because, it's one of the things that she does with me. When I sat her down and said, I'm thinking of doing this, she was just like, Mom, put on your big girl pants, okay? Step out of your comfort zone and do this. And so we all need to think about that, the importance of that. Third, we also need to remember that it's important to support other women and to stay involved. I have a wine glass at my house that says, behind every successful woman is herself. Okay, so that's not really true, and I think we all know that. Because none of us could be here without the support of a lot of people helping us. And first, there's our family, both those who are biologically related to us and those we choose. I was the youngest with 3 older siblings, and none of us are wallflowers. And my siblings consistently kept me humble and reminded me of, you're the youngest. They encouraged me to do things, but they always kept me humble. My parents, my sister's here tonight, and she has a charm bracelet, has a picture of both of my parents. They were incredibly supportive of all of us and saying, you can do anything you want to. And when you put your mind to it, just make sure you do it. And they were also very, very enamored of and very believed in giving back to the community in a number of different ways. And then I have my children here tonight. Ryan, who has always been sort of the steady voice. Daniel, who makes me laugh all the time. Caitlin, who keeps pushing me all the time to step out of my comfort zone. And my daughter-in-law, Chelsea, and I'm going to say who has showed me the grace as she has shared and battled with breast cancer and found her advocacy voice, being supportive of other people. Of course, my granddaughter, Daisy, who is here and is getting her voice. You'll get her maybe a little bit later. And I also can't say it without my husband, Mark, who passed away 10 years ago of a heart attack. Very, very supportive. And I couldn't have done my race without him standing by my side, going door to door with me as we were working for this election. And then there's the family that I have, my courthouse family, that are also sitting over there, my staff. Yes, they are fantastic. One of the people sitting at the table isn't quite so fantastic because she nominated for me for this, but that's okay. I can't do any of that work without the support that I get from my staff, and they are fantastic people. And I also think about, when you talked about drug court, my drug court team and the participants are also people that I consider family. Oftentimes, if I can't be there, it's like, so how are the kids this week? But it is so empowering to see women who have gotten their children back because they have gone through drug treatment court. And one of my participants who I ran into her about a year ago, and she was like, guess what, Judge McCrory? I opened up my first bank account. She's 40 years old. I got my first apartment without having someone co-sign for me. And when you hear those things, it's very heartening. And when I see them and I can talk to them, it's just wonderful to see. So I do consider them part of the family. And then there's the mention of my church family, and the 15 mission trips that I've been on. And tonight was delightful because I got to see Heidi, and I don't know where Heidi is, but she was on the first one that I went on when I was pregnant with my son, Ryan. So it's sort of like full circle here, folks. But that is also something that my church family at Cargill United Methodist Church, which is very, very important to me as well. When I think about the YWCA, when I was in law school, I interned at the YWCA in the battered women's shelter. When I was a baby lawyer, I did pro bono work for Y clients. And one of my clients was the first woman to move into the transitional living house when they were first built and first remodeled. So it's something that is also holds dear to my heart. So doing nothing is not an option for us, and there are very different ways that we can do these things. And it's also not an option for the YWCA. I mean, their mission of eliminating racism, empowering women, and promoting peace, justice, freedom, and dignity for all. And I talk about my church and my Christian faith because, you know, YWCA, the C stands for Christian, when it got started. And I'm not saying that from the standpoint of that's what you have to believe, but the idea of loving God, loving your neighbor as yourself, which has always been a very important part of what I do. And how can you love your neighbor if you don't even know them because they've been marginalized and silenced? And one of the things that the YWCA does is they give those people a voice. And that is an incredibly important charge and an incredibly important thing to do. So as I said, thank you very much for this honor. I am humbled to be here, and enjoy the rest of the evening. Thanks.
Congratulations again, Barbara. Hi, everyone. My name is Naila Adama, and I'm a former Women of Distinction recipient. And I'm going to share my story with you. But before I do that, I'd like to share a little story, a poem that I wrote because I read a story about bees recently. And I fact-checked it, it seemed legit, maybe it's not, but I liked it, and I couldn't get this thought out of my head until I wrote this poem. Gone. She was the pulse, the rhythm, the one who gave life. Now everything slows, the hive fading. But the bees do not panic. They begin. They choose, not the strongest, not the fastest, just a larva, ordinary, unremarkable. They feed her the best they have, royal jelly, a substance that says, you matter. You can rise, and she does. Her body shifts, her life lengthens, her purpose changes. She will not serve, she will lead. She will not survive, she will give. Her queenliness always there, waiting, not born but made, not by chance, not by blood, by attention, by nourishment, by collective. This is the secret of the hive. Last year, when I was honored by the YWCA Rock County as a woman of distinction, many didn't know how full circle that moment really was for me and my family. I can still close my eyes and feel the confusion when he came toward me, hands extended as if to hug and kiss me while calling me a bitch. The fear as I realized I couldn't breathe, he was choking me. That was the first time the violence became physical, but I'd grown up watching Lifetime television for women. So I knew that if I was going to survive that night, it had to be the last time. But still, the societal conditioning to be a good woman, to stick by my man, ran deeper than I expected. So I took the long scenic route out, but eventually I came to Wisconsin. I had a plan, but as the kids say these days, life be lifing, and life was definitely lifing. But by miracle, I ended up at the YWCA's Alternative to Violence shelter. But back to bees. If the queen dies suddenly, bees don't panic. They don't wait for rescue. They don't wait for a queen to be born. They act. They choose a larva and give her the best of what they have, not scraps, not leftovers, but the best, until she becomes something more. Not born a queen, made one. And that's exactly what the YWCA Rock County did for me almost 21 years ago, when I found myself broken, scared, and in need of refuge. And that's what they did for my daughter 9 years ago, when the incredible team at the care house helped her walk through the pain of a festering secret and turn it into the power of telling her story. People who come to the YWCA Rock County, people like me and my daughter, arrive carrying fear, shame, exhaustion. They've survived more than most can imagine. The center of their world has been broken. Their future feels impossible. But the YWCA Rock County doesn't step back. They surround. They feed, not just meals, but safety, support, resources, legal help, and kindness without question. And slowly, so slowly sometimes, a transformation begins. We are reminded we were not born to be victims, and we're not destined to stay broken. We are remade by care, by love, by the collective will of people who believe in something better than survival. In a world that often turns away, the YWCA Rock County does what the hive does. They don't just protect life, they make queens. And I so appreciate all the hard work that so many people put into making sure that the YWCA Rock County is here for others. Having shared my story, if you haven't already done so, please consider being part of the community, part of the hive that builds queens. Use the QR code located at your table to ensure other women like myself, other girls like my daughter, other children, continue to have access to vital resources that the YWCA Rock County offers to our community. Thank you.
It's a beautiful story. Thank you for sharing that with us. Our next woman of distinction is Brittany Keys. Dr. Brittany Keys, DPT, is a physical therapist and a climate advocate dedicated to public health and environmental justice. As clean air conditioner with Healthy Climate Wisconsin, she leads efforts to combat air pollution in southern Wisconsin and convenes the State Line Clean Air Coalition. A former City Council member, 20 to 22, Brittany champions sustainability, carbon neutrality, and housing initiatives. She also serves as a climate justice chair for the NAACP, Wisconsin State Conference, and is active in the Beloit League of Women Voters. She lives in Beloit and with her husband and 2 children, enjoys nature, and is transforming her lawn into a native plant garden. Please join us in honoring Dr. Brittany Keys.
Good evening, and thank you for everyone here, and thank you to the YWCA for this incredible honor, and congratulations to my fellow honorees. Receiving this award is humbling. It is a reflection of the work and the mission of the YWCA, and a reflection of the powerful women and leaders who received it before me, and the work of those who stand up beside me today. Next, I have to recognize and thank my village. Thank you to my husband, my 2 children, my parents, my born family, and my chosen family. Through the smiles, tears, frustration, late nights, and long days, you are always there for me, with a smile, a shoulder, a hug, or an encouraging text. I would not be able to keep going on and doing what I do without your support. And thank you to my colleagues at work with Healthy Climate Wisconsin, colleagues at the NAACP, and fellow advocates with the State Line Clean Air Coalition. This coalition is an eclectic group from across the greater State Line area, united by our mission and focused on our vision, creating an environment where we all have clean air to breathe. Starting back when I served on Beloit City Council 2020 to 2022, when I was fighting for the city's ARPA, or American Rescue Plan Act funding, to go to those hardest hit by COVID and support our community-based organizations supporting our most vulnerable, I learned about some of the incredible environmental injustices that we are facing, specifically from industrial air pollution. Rock County's leading industrial emitter is Alliance Methane Gas Plant Complex, or Riverside Energy Center, which reports over 1 million metric tons more greenhouse gas emissions than all 24 reporting industrial emitters in Cook County, Illinois. That's Chicago. Cook County has 12 regulatory particulate matter monitors. Rock County has 0. According to the EPA Environmental Justice Screening and Mapping Tool, much of the State Line area scores in the 95th to 100th percentile nationally for toxic chemical releases to the air. Several census tracts in Beloit rank in the 95th to 100th percentile nationally for asthma burden. And who is often harmed the most vulnerable? Women, pregnant women, our children. And with these environmental burdens and air pollution negatively impacting every system in the body throughout the lifespan, from poor fetal development to ASD and autism, lower academic outcomes, and higher asthma rates, to increase lung disease, cancer, heart attacks, stroke, diabetes, autoimmune diseases, neurological disorders such as Parkinson's and Alzheimer's. It makes sense. It makes tragic sense that Rock County also scores high for chronic disease burden and early mortality. Unfortunately, cleaning up the air isn't any easier than dismantling systemic racism or solving our housing, substance abuse, or mental health crises. Often it feels like you're running into a brick wall. It can be frustrating at times. Progress feels stagnant. But when you step back and take a breath, you often realize that your work has been riddled with victories along the way, and we remain committed. It's the hundreds of people that submitted comments to the Public Service Commission that didn't know what the Public Service Commission was before. opposing Alliance proposed gas plant expansion, and the two people testifying at the DNR public hearing yesterday for the first time. It's the lab from the UW-Eau submitting independent reports on air monitoring data where we have gaps. It is the lab from Boston University submitting health impacts analysis from the existing plant. And these are wins. They see environmental injustices. These are wins that remind us that we are not alone and that we have so much power and potential when we work together. Why is this environmental justice work important? And the work of the YWCA, the work of my fellow honorees, and really every person in this room? Well, according to the U.S. Climate Vulnerability Index, Rock County has the second, third, fourth, sixth, and ninth most vulnerable census tracts out of 1,409 census tracts in Wisconsin. And because of our continued dependence and burning of fossil fuels, climate change is accelerating. We also know that those least responsible are often the most vulnerable and are those that are hit the hardest. According to the recent WPR article regarding homelessness in our youth, homelessness in Rock County is hitting levels never seen before. These issues overlap and intersect with many of the other societal issues we are facing today and working to address side by side. So now is our moment for each of us to lean into our strengths, our superpowers, and to come together and build and serve our community. And this starts at home, as said before, by getting to know your neighbors. It may seem simple, but even the small acts can be life-changing and life-saving. And then we must take it a step further. We must continue to support the organizations and people doing this work day in and day out. The power and the benefits of organizations like the YWCA are immeasurable, and we cannot take them for granted. So please, keep showing up, keep speaking out, and keep investing in your community. Every person can make a difference, and together, a beautiful future with clean air is possible. Thank you.
Good evening, everyone, and congratulations again to Brittany. I'm at a table with some of your friends, and they are very hype, and I appreciate that. So, my name is Ashley Morse. I am honored to be here tonight as one of the board members at the YWCA and to celebrate this incredible group of women of distinction. While this evening rightfully belongs to our honorees, I will take just a couple moments to reflect on something a little more personal to me, something I think of as moments of relief that I've had in my life. I don't like talking about myself. I spent many years as a public defender telling other people's stories. But over time, through telling my clients' stories, I was also telling my own. I saw many pieces of me in so many pieces of them. And in so many people I see today as I sit in my courtroom on the bench. To the point where my story has come to feel sort of depressingly unspecial and far too common. I told my therapist once that I still carry a lot of guilt for friends and family I couldn't help. She reminded me gently that I was 8 and your options for saving the day are limited. Still, I ask myself, why did I get the chance to walk a path that led me to the bench, while so many kids that lived across the street from me ended up with prison sentences? What I've come to understand is the difference often comes down to moments of relief that people get in their lives. It might be the neighbor who would give my mom a ride to work so she didn't get a short check and our lights stayed on. It might be a free meal, a safe place for your child to sleep, a kid at school who says, you can sit here. The YWCA creates those moments of relief for people in this community every day. When you are barely keeping your head above water, one small act, like a bus ticket or a warm bed, can be the breath of air that keeps you going. I've been blessed to receive moments of relief in my life, maybe even more blessed to have opportunities to pay them forward. That's the beautiful thing. We all have the capacity, as adults especially, to provide those moments of relief for people in our community. I do want to take a little bit of liberty before I close, to acknowledge my colleague that was a woman of distinction tonight, Judge McCrory, the first woman to serve as a judge in Rock County. That is no small feat, especially when you know some of our colleagues. I will say, having had my own experiences as a first and often and only in many rooms, I understand just a little of the weight that comes along with breaking those barriers. I admire her strength, her legacy. I'm proud to walk beside her. Thank you all. And while I ethically cannot ask you for anything specifically, I will remind you that there are QR codes on your table should you wish to offer a moment.
Our next woman of distinction is Carmen Roche. Carmen moved to Milwaukee from Puerto Rico, earned a criminal justice degree in 2012, and began her law enforcement career in Janesville in 2023. A mother, a dedicated officer, she serves as a school resource officer and is involved in crisis negotiation, National Honor Guard, and disaster relief efforts. With a background in youth intervention and security leadership, she implemented a safety plan for Milwaukee schools and taught dance before joining the JPD. In 2018, she founded Wisconsin's first Sheepdog Impact Assistance, SDIA team, supporting veterans and first responders. Her service has earned multiple commendations, including the 2019 Mighty Oak Award and the 2024 Edward J. Ormondy Law and Order Award, which led to statewide recognition by the American Legion. Please give Carmen a great big round of applause.
Good evening, everyone. It is an incredible honor to be here and to share this stage with the other women we recognize tonight. And first, I want to say thank you for sharing your stories on the past women of distinction. I'm a big believer that you have to share your story, so thank you for that. Thank you to the YWCA, to my family, my other half Joe, and to those who have supported me along the way, my coworkers who are here tonight, and also now the School District of Janesville. Thank you, Chief Pearson, for the nomination and your leadership. I want to take a second and say, Naya, your story is amazing. It is a gift, and keep empowering others. This award is not just mine. It's a reflection of the voices, hands, and hearts that have shaped my journey. It represents resiliency, community, and the quiet persistence and strength so many of us carry every day. Does anybody here remember the Christmas gift 26 years ago? I do. Let me take you back to 1998. I was just 13. My parents were digging through the garbage because they accidentally threw away our Christmas gift. Airline tickets to the mainland, United States of America. I did not know what to expect, but little did I realize I was being given one of the biggest Christmas gifts I had ever received. Those tickets represented a new life, opportunities, diversity, struggles, dreams, and more. This gift was thanks to the sacrifices my mom and my dad endured every single day. Gracias, papi, mami. I moved to Milwaukee, Wisconsin on Christmas Day, 1998. Huge change from tropical weather all the way to the snow. No stress. A Puerto Rican teenager from the barrio waking up in the heart of the Midwest. Nothing else, right? I love my beautiful island. I miss it every day, but this is my destiny and I embrace it. I never could have imagined this life 26 years ago, but here I am. That's why the future depends on you today. We must engage and help shape We must engage and help shape the future of our community. I am a police officer, and like my fellow officers here, we are human first. Being a police officer isn't just about the job description, it's also about heart and purpose. Leadership is not about being perfect. It's about learning, growing, and lifting others, and allowing ourselves to be vulnerable. It is not a weakness to be vulnerable, it is a strength. It means you are being authentic. When we show our true selves, people feel safe to speak up, respectfully and fully contribute. Sharing our own story is a powerful way to lead. The successes, the setbacks, the doubts, and the lessons learned. When you share your challenges, you're showing them that you are human. You are giving others permission to be human too. And to be resilient. Be a hope builder. Be a bridge. Don't crush the dreams of somebody who aspires to succeed. Push them to reach their full potential. Gratitude grounds me. I'm here not because I did it all alone. I'm here because others believe in me even during times that I doubted myself. I discovered the true value of having someone in my corner, a mentor. I lost my mentor 2 years ago. Sorry. Mr. Alan Shield, and I really wish he was here tonight. Mentorship is a bond through mutual effort. A part of the YWCA mission is to build a sense of community and to empower women to reach their full potential. To the young women in this room, don't ever sell yourself short. You are powerful. Stick to your values, work hard, be dedicated, and go for it with dignity. To the women who ever question whether you are enough, you are enough. To the great men in this room, thank you. Keep walking beside us. Keep using your powerful strength to lift, your voices to advocate, and your influence to open doors. I accept this award as a reminder to keep showing up, to keep serving, to keep making space for others to rise, to be grateful, to work for a cause, not for applause, and in the mix of it all, I had to do better with not forgetting about taking care of myself in mind, body, and spirit, because I am raising a 4-year-old boy, Sebastian. And my greatest hope is to raise him to be a good man that carries the strength to lead, the fire to protect, and the heart to serve, while never being afraid to show love and compassion. The same goes to you, Madeline and Rowan, my little young woman. Every time I try to push you a little bit more because I love you. In the end, it's not just about the work we do, it's about the legacy we leave, the story we write with our actions, the legend we build in the lives we touch. Thank you.
Congratulations, Carmen. I'm proud to know you.
work with you, and call you a friend. Hello everyone, my name is Kim Rao, and I am a victim witness specialist with the Rock County District Attorney's Office in the Victim Witness Program, specializing in cases of domestic abuse. I work with an awesome group of people over at table 19. I began my career as a law enforcement officer and have witnessed and experienced domestic violence in a very different way. As a law enforcement officer, I responded to hundreds of incidents involving domestic violence, and in 2007 had to take the life of a domestic abuser. While speaking to a victim in her home, her abuser kicked in the back door, firing a 12-gauge shotgun at the victim, their children, his mother-in-law, and me. This incident was something the abuser planned out. I immediately returned fire, shooting the abuser and killing him. One of the abuser's gunshots did strike his mother-in-law as she laid her body over her grandchildren and her daughter to protect them. Luckily, they lived that day. This incident not only affected his family, it also affected the community, me, and my family, as I was now dealing with having caused the death of a person. Following the incident, I struggled. I struggled to understand how a person could get to a point of planning the death of his own children and someone he claimed to love. I also struggled with receiving awards for my actions, even though I knew it was to save lives. It also felt as though I was being recognized for taking a person's life. Despite it being the reality of what my job was that day, taking a person's life was not something that I aspired to do or wanted to experience. I had to work through those feelings and know I did what was necessary that day. You have all heard the rippling effects domestic abuse has on survivors and their loved ones, but it is also very true for the professionals working with the victims and survivors every day. I am certain that domestic violence has likely touched each and every one of you in this room tonight in some way. This incident led me to try and understand domestic abuse. Working through the incident physically and emotionally led me to my current role as a victim witness specialist. My role now looks a lot different from the advocates at the YWCA, as it's more system-based than community-based. My role as a victim witness specialist is to provide support, education, assist, and inform victims as defined by Wisconsin statutes about the criminal justice process. I work closely with community resources such as the YWCA and the Defy Center in Rock County, in hopes to help survivors and victims of domestic abuse guide them through the criminal justice system. I work directly with prosecutors at the district attorney's office, court commissioners, the judges, and I hope to ensure that a victim's voice is heard and their rights are being followed and considered within this criminal justice process. I am extremely thankful for the YWCA. They are crucial to my job. They are crucial to helping a victim become a survivor of domestic abuse. I have referred hundreds of victims to the YWCA for legal advocacy, petitioning for restraining orders, safety planning, education, transitional housing, and even basic needs like shelter, food, and clothing. The YWCA is critical as a community resource because it provides access to services 24 hours a day. I truly do not believe that my job would have me be as successful as it is without the YWCA, and I am very thankful for them. Every victim or survivor has a different story and a different experience. And I am grateful to be here today to speak about my experience and the role in supporting victims and survivors of domestic abuse. Now that you've heard that story about the YWCA's work with victims of domestic violence, it is very important, and I please ask you to make a donation if you haven't already done so. Thank you.
Our next woman of distinction is Patricia Mahid. Patricia is a dedicated wife, mother, and a great-grandmother, has spent 54 years serving her profession and community. A barber at Clippers and Curls for 37 years, she began as a receptionist before earning her degree from MATC Madison. Beyond cutting hair, she has been a trusted confidant, counselor, and advocate for her clients. A passionate volunteer, Patricia has supported youth sports, local schools, and organizations like the NAACP and Diamond Elite Cheerleading. Her contributions have earned numerous honors, including Rock County Jumpstart Legacy Award, being named a 2025 YWCA Rock County Woman of Distinction reaffirms her lifelong belief in service and giving back to create meaningful change. Please congratulate Patricia with your applause.
Good evening, everyone. On behalf of myself and all the other volunteers, I must say volunteering is a job anyone can do. Some do it more passionately than others. Beloit Citywide Softball did that for me. We serve over 300 to 400 children per summer for free. Free from grades 3rd to the 12th grade. The chance to play softball, build character, make friends, and to respect themselves and to respect others. Most participants would never get this chance if it wasn't for this program. A chance to change their lives of our youth is a remarkable feeling to know that you have made a difference. When I started on this journey 9 years ago, I had no idea that the people were watching. It's amazing that your dedication and hard work inspires others. My visit to the YWCA to understand their mission was quite an experience last week. The Safe House for Children is overwhelming. Please feel free to donate to the cause. I thank all of you that had a part in honoring me or representing me or recognizing me as a woman of distinction. And before I leave the podium, I want to say to my family, my husband, my son, my granddaughter, my sister from another mother. I have two of my 3 sons from another mother. They're also with me tonight. And without them, I could not do a lot of things that I do. Thank you.
Hi, me again. Congratulations, Patricia. That was amazing. I have to say, I've been planning this event for 6 years, and this has been by far the most amazing, impactful, beautiful story. So thank you all so much. As I said before, my name is Adrienne Henning. I'm the past board chair for the YWCA. I also work for Coldwell Banker Commercial, McGuire Mears & Associates in my day job. I'm the operations and marketing director. I want to spend my time today to tell you the stories of 2 different women. The first woman is at a low point in her life. She is experiencing a growing sense of dread, a constant vigilance to protect her 2 small children from the instability of living with an addict. The day she finds drugs in her house is the day safety finally outweighs the fear of the unknown. She knows that she has to leave. She packs a bag and tells him that she's going on vacation to see her mother, but she never goes back. She leaves her job and she shoulders debt created by the relationship she is leaving. She swallows her pride and she signs herself up for food stamps, daycare assistance, Medicaid, anything to get herself back on her feet. The second woman, she is at a high point in her life. She has a career that she can showcase her skills. a community that she wants to make an impact in, a husband and 2 children that she loves greatly. She owns her own home, she's financially independent and stable, and she is seen as a leader. The woman who stepped away from the chaos, navigated those uncertain days, the one desperately seeking a safe harbor for her children, who packed a bag and got on a plane with 2 kids under 2 to fly from Florida to Wisconsin to live with her mother, and the woman standing before you today in a place of peace, professional success, and strength are both me. My journey taught me that danger isn't always physical. Sometimes the most profound threat is the instability and unpredictability that steals a child's sense of security. A mother's love and instinct to protect are powerful forces, capable of navigating even the most unseen and insidious threats. If you are living in an environment made unsafe by addiction, know that your need for peace, your children's rights to stability are valid and vital. There is a path to safety, even if it feels impossible now. Your strength lies in your love, and a more secure future is within reach. You are not alone. And I want to take this time to say thank you to the YWCA of Rock County. When I joined this community in 2019, I needed a place to volunteer, to get involved, to be part of a community, and the Y opened up their arms to me, took me in, let me help plan this amazing event, helped me join the board, become a leader, see a leader in myself. I also want to thank my mom, Gail Graham, for pulling me out of the depths and reminding me that I am worthy. To my husband, Chad, who is home with our children, being a dance dad, for showing me what a healthy and sober relationship can look like, for choosing our children, for raising them as if they were his own, and adopting them, yay. And to my children, Logan and Delaney, every single thing I do is for you. Thank you. I want to now encourage you one last time, if you have not scanned the QR code to donate to the Y, please do so now. Thank you.
Our next woman of distinction is Sylvia Donaday Zelensky. Born in Caracas, Venezuela, Sylvia had an adventurous career as a flight attendant before marrying her husband David in 1998. They had 2 daughters, Chloe and Lauren, and enjoyed 25 years of a loving marriage before David passed in 2023. Sylvia transitioned into banking in 2000 and is now the vice president and bilingual lender at Premier Bank in Janesville. She is deeply committed to her community. She serves on the boards for the YWCA, the Janesville Literacy Council. Sylvia volunteers at Gifts Men's Shelter, provides financial education, and helps families through the Rock County Immigration Task Force. She also chairs Adelante Janesville, supporting Latino businesses in the community. Sylvia takes great pride in contributing to the growth and well-being of Rock County. Please congratulate Sylvia with your applause.
Good evening, everyone. It is with immense gratitude that I stand before you tonight, humble and deeply honored to accept this Women of Distinction Award. My heartfelt thanks go out to the YWCA and the nominating committee for this distinction. It is truly a moment I will treasure forever. And tonight, I'm going to speak from my heart. I am a proud immigrant, and this honor is not just mine. It is a testament to the resilience and determination of every immigrant who has journeyed to a new land in pursuit of a better future. My story, like so many others, is one of hope, hard work, and solid belief in the power of community. It is a story that resonates even more in times like this, when our country feels so divided. Let us remember that we are stronger together. We must be united and reject those who divide us. Hate has no place in our hearts, in our communities, or in our lives. But change begins with each of us. It starts with the example we set, the conversations we have with each other, and the ways we raise the next generation. As parents, mentors, and community members, we have the responsibility to preach tolerance, compassion, and understanding. Let us raise our children with open minds and open hearts, teaching them to celebrate diversity and be kind to all. We cannot stop talking about this. Silence allows hate to fester, but dialogue keeps our memories alive and the lessons learned at our forefront. By continuing the conversation, we ensure that the struggles of the past are not forgotten and that the progress that we have made remains a beacon of hope in the future. Advocacy matters. We must be the voice for those who have no voice, standing up for what is just, even when it's difficult, even when it feels lonely. Together, we can build a world where everyone is seen, heard, and valued. On a personal note, I feel incredibly fortunate to work for Premier Bank, a company that understands the value of community and encourages me to give back. It is a privilege to be part of an organization that empowers its people to make a difference. Discovering one's purpose is a journey, and mine has been shaped by the wonderful women who has influenced my life. To my mother, who exemplified unwavering determination after the loss of my father, you showed me how to face life's challenges with grace and resilience. To my mother-in-law and her frying pan, raising 5 kids by herself. To my first boss, who led 350 women with grace and efficiency. You taught me the importance of responsibility and reliability. To my mentor in banking, whose pride in her team's exceptional service inspired me. And to my daughters, I hope that through my actions, I have shown you what it means to live with purpose, integrity, and compassion. It is my greatest honor to be your mother. Finally, to the love of my life, you have been my pillar, my partner, my everything. I am who I am today because of you. El amor es lo que queda cuando todo se va. Love is what remains when all else fades away. Your love has been my anchor, and for that I am forever grateful. Tonight, as I accept this award, I do so not just for myself, but for all those who have shaped me, support me, and believe in me. Let us continue to support one another, advocate for what is just, and inspire the next generation to do bigger and better. Thank you.
Heidi wasn't sure if we were up, if we're supposed to be talking, but I think it's us, so we're just gonna come up here.
We are going to begin to celebrate the end of our night tonight, but we are very thankful for everything that has happened. It's your turn.
Are you sure? Are you sure?
I'm pretty sure.
I don't think so.
Yes.
Okay, you're right.
Okay. Congratulations to each of our women of distinction. You're all truly inspiring. Shar, we would like to thank you for joining us tonight to honor these extraordinary women. You are a fantastic MC. Please accept this gift as a token of our appreciation.
Oh, thank you. All local businesses are in the basket. Thank you. I think it's this year, right?
Really want to thank everybody tonight, especially all the people we honored tonight, all of our women of distinction, but also for the other stories that were shared over the course of the night. Thank you for being vulnerable and sharing those stories. We truly appreciate our honorees, and we truly appreciate those stories. I would also like to take this time to thank Samantha Guthrie for chairing our 2025 Women of Distinction event. Come on up. The committee was phenomenal. And can we please have the committee members stand? Carrie Dre, Brittany Delo, LaFonda Richardson, Jesse Campbell, Andrea Arrett, Jamie Council, Miriam Enterline, Carrie Krieger, Olivia Peterson, and Adrian. Good job, ladies. Thank you. And Samantha, please accept this token of our appreciation for chairing the event tonight. Thank you. We'll take a picture later when she comes back. I would also like to thank the YWCA board members for their dedication to our mission. Their names are listed in our program, but can we please have the board members that are here tonight please stand? Remain standing. Remain standing. I'd also like our incredible staff for the YWCA Rock County to stand tonight, so if the staff could stand. Caratina, I see you. So these people are amazing. Our staff, our board are tremendously dedicated to our mission, and we just want to really thank them for being a part of our organization. Okay, you can sit now if you want. I see some sitting, some standing. What a wonderful event we had tonight. Congratulations again, one last time to our honorees. You continue to inspire and amaze us for all that you do to make a difference in the lives of people in Rock County. I want to say a final thank you to all of you for taking the time to be here to support all of this. And thanks again to our sponsors and to the staff at the Celtic House at Glen Erin for just being great hosts for the event. Again, one last goodbye. Thank you so much for being here. And with that, we are done for the night. Thanks, everybody.